How one becomes a good photographer, professional or amateur, I would suppose would start at about the age of 8 when selling Christmas cards to people in the middle of July when nobody's thinking about Christmas. And when the 8-year-old guy tells them a wild story about how all the trees got burned down and there won't be any paper later on, he creates a bit of a panic, enough to sell at least a few boxes of the Christmas cards to get enough money so he can buy a cheap $8 camera. And he starts taking pictures. Ever since the first exciting shot was taken with the cheap plastic $8 camera, the fun just kept getting better and better. But nobody has to be a professional photographer with a lot of expensive equipment in order to take really great pictures. A simple guide to fabulous photography came about as an idea to assist people in taking better pictures without necessarily having to invest a lot of money in expensive photo equipment. It covers the basics of what kind of camera you should use, 4 basic steps for good shots, lighting, and common sense tips and tricks for getting the best shots possible. Tips for shooting indoors and night photography are also included. There's also some helpful advice about some good working habits to develop that will make your photography an easier activity. The subjects of self-portraits and retouching are discussed with emphasis on methods of letting your camera do most of the work for you. And if the old saying is true about a picture being worth 1,000 words, then a moving picture has to be worth at least millions of words, which is why the basics of video photography is covered in a simple guide to fabulous photography. The reader will also notice my descriptions of aerial photography being one of the most fun-filled things imaginable, along with the joys of using a telephoto lens. Important legal matters are mentioned as well, along with some ideas you might find helpful along the lines of becoming a professional. It is my sincere hope and desire that you enjoy and get as much as possible from a simple guide to fabulous photography.